It is uncommon to see video game companies take popular requests from fans on what games they would like to see become realized. Titles like The Last Guardian and Final Fantasy VII Remake are proof that companies are willing to listen and turn those requests into reality. On June 2020, Nintendo surprised us with a new trailer featuring a sequel to the beloved spin-off game Pokemon Snap. Snap was a game that lets you take photos of Pokemon and their natural environments. The Pokemon franchise was still at its infancy stage, releasing the '96 Game Boy game, a popular animation, and a catalog of toys to follow along. Snap has thrived in the sheer simplicity of displaying its creatures in real-life environments, eliciting an emotional bond unique to the franchise. To see these critters in static 2D sprites evolve into 3D models was a new perspective never witnessed. To prepare for Pokemon Snap 2 for Switch, let's roll back onto the Nintendo 64 exclusive, as well as the Wii Virtual Console port a couple years later. What is the best way to play these titles in 2020? A port versus port is in order. A video series highlighting the differences and similarities of the vanilla and port versions of a singular title. So let us begin with Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo 64 and the Wii Virtual Console. Find out how to win this Pokemon First Movie VHS and care package in my free giveaway. Click the GLEAM link below to find out more. 1999 was an odd year for Nintendo. For those in the US, we were introduced to titles that defined the Nintendo 64 as a legendary console we know today. For Japan, there was heavy turmoil in Nintendo's headquarters, having difficulty releasing the Nintendo 64 disk drive to the States. Constant delays of the DD in the US combined with being a commercial failure in Japan caused many DD titles to either become lost in gaming limbo or be re-released differently. Jack and the Beanstalk, which took advantage of the Nintendo 64 disk drive hardware, eventually changed to Pokemon Snap and became the rail shooter we know of today. Pokemon Snap's forte allowed players to traverse 7 different levels while taking photos of Pokemon for points. This allowed for a close-up at Pokemon in their natural habitat. It was a rare opportunity to see Bulbasaurs eating vegetation, or watching a Magmar burn a Charmander out of pure primal anger and survival. The game is divided into 2D sections with Professor Oak and 3D exploration levels allowing you to observe the Pokemon. Snap is relatively short, consisting of only 5 hours of gameplay, including taking shots of all 63 Pokemon. To increase the novel features of the game, Nintendo released photo kiosks in both Blockbuster in the US and Lawson's Konbini stores in Japan to allow players to bring in their cartridge to print photos. The feature was an absolute novel in 1999, giving an extra collectible to trade with friends at the schoolyard. On top of trading Pokemon cards and creatures from the game, the stickers added another item to trade with your friends. Today in 2020, that feature is nothing more than a relic of the past, with the closest equivalent being screen capturing these photos and printing them on my home printer. Overall, the 64 title is a fun and simplistic photo rail shooter, providing the natural behaviors and mannerisms of Pokemon in their everyday environment. In 2007, Nintendo brought the title to Virtual Console. So how does the original stack up on Virtual Console? One of my fondest memories of the Nintendo Wii was a Virtual Console and having official digital titles on this amazing device. Digital downloads were a new concept at the time, and Nintendo adding NES, SNES, and other consoles all available for purchase is currently being praised today. Nintendo announced in 2007 the surprise release of Pokemon Snap for Virtual Console with a brand new feature. Upon booting up, I noticed sections of the game with increased frame rate, most notably in the beginning intro. While the original 64 version seemed to boggle down, the Virtual Console is more consistent, likely due to emulation. For many people, as well as myself, the graphics were a bit of a turnoff as a smoothing filter was applied to the textures and overall presentation. I usually prefer sharper pixels, but this feature might not be a bad idea for others. This hides noticeable jaggies present in the original, providing an easier visual experience. As expected, the photo kiosk feature is completely unusable, but Nintendo remedied this by allowing you to save one photo a day to your message board and then send them to your friends. Cumbersome in 2007 and unusable in 2020. Aside from the color change of Jinx's skin from black to purple, the Virtual Console release keeps the experience intact with all Pokemon and levels. Unfortunately, on January 30th, 2019 saw the official closure of the Wii Shop channel, so any methods to obtain Pokemon Snap are out of the window. Using Homebrew and WAD installs are the only way to go via this route. But for you guys, which version of Pokemon Snap do you feel works for you? Here's a look at a side-by-side comparison, and let me know in the comments what suits your needs. And there we have it. I think that should be the port versus port of Pokemon Snap. You know, going through both of these titles and really observing them and looking how much different they are, I know these two kind of have no competition, considering that the Nintendo 64 is a lot easier accessible and you can just purchase it wherever you need to in comparison to Virtual Console. But I always like doing these so you guys can see what we've had at the time and what you can currently do in 2020. And I think it's a little cool thing. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate you taking the time to look at my videos. If you're interested at seeing any of my social links, my Twitter is down below. My Twitch has a brand new schedule, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can visit me right there. And finally, what do you guys feel about this port versus port? Or are there any other that you would like me to do? I know I've had quite a bit of requests, and I'll do what I can to get through them as time goes by. Thank you guys. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll see you very soon.